because this is where we often fail the most. So sometimes, if you think about it, if you're thinking about protein, you sometimes you undereat protein. You rarely go overeat with protein, right? But with carbs, you can easily just eat 200 grams per day. Like if you were supposed to eat on a low carb diet, like 50 grams, and then when you check your MyFitnessPal, you are already like 150, and you don't know why. Because this is the most accessible food available. Like if you're gonna look around you, most of the food that you have right now in your fridge are 70% carbs. It's like 30% protein and fat, right? So that's that's why it's a very mind-boggling or very good topic to talk to. Now, the things that we're going to be discussing about carbs will be what is it? What is it primarily? Is it bad for your gains? What is simple and complex carb? We often hear our coaches that guys try to avoid simple carbs, try to focus on eating complex carbs. And does it even matter if you eat, simple or complex? Like, will it help you lose weight? Will it help you with your fitness goals? And our takeaways for today's discussion. All right. So now, what is carbs? So carbs, as I have said earlier, it's one of the three classes of food: protein, fat, and then carbs. So it's a source of energy. So as we have discussed last time, the protein is like a building block for you to build muscle. Carbs is a source of energy. Let's say if you're going to do some physical activities like running, working out, the first thing that your body will use will be carbs. Okay, that's why when you were working out before and then when you eat carbs, you feel hyped up. Okay, and then if you don't eat carbs right now, especially if you're on a low carb diet, you feel a little bit heavy, you feel a little bit tired because we are trying to restrict those. Okay, because again, that's a source of energy. Now, sugar and starches are broken down into glucose. Now, every carbs that you eat, no matter what it is, it's gonna be broken down to glucose. Okay. Now
And
they provide you.
I'm
Yes, Justin.
real quick. Burn. I think it's important for you guys to understand the pecking order. Like burn hit number one, but the next thing I want to go to is number two and number three. When your body's getting energy, it starts with carbs, the glucose that's readily available in your body and your blood sugar. Then it goes and gets some from body fat, and then it goes and gets some from muscle. And we never wanted to get there. So right now, when you guys are in low carb, we're almost taking out tier number one, eating the amount of carbs you guys are eating, which is different for everyone because we all got custom macros. Burn hit number one, but the next thing I want to go to is number two and number three. Oops. When your body's getting energy, it starts. Two videos going here at once. So by you guys having low carbs, somewhere around 50 to, again, 100 grams on a low carb day, you're now telling your body to go to tier two, which is body fat. And there is a point where it starts going to tier three, which is muscle. And that's why cardio is not the best way to lose body fat and strength training is, because your body won't go to muscle if it looks at it as essential tissue in your body. Because when you lift weights, your body now realizes, oh, this is essential tissue. We need this for when we do strength training. When you go do curls and presses and push-ups and squats, your body knows, oh, I got to go survive that. Don't touch muscle. So now it stays at tier two, which is body fat. Now, if you just did a bunch of cardio and you guys hear coaches and me and the rest of the dream team say cardio is good, but it should not be the main source of your exercise and your training, because what happens is your body looks at muscle as non-essential. It actually looks at it as it's slowing it down. It's weight. Just muscle is weight on your body, just like body fat. And it's saying, hey, I want to get more efficient with cardiovascular training, so I need to get rid of this muscle. This muscle slowing me down. There's no need for it, because cardio training is for your respiratory and your cardiovascular system. Your body doesn't need muscle necessarily for cardio training. So it starts to break muscle tissue down, and all the repetitive, steps when you go running and riding a bike and doing all that, it starts to lead to muscle breakdown. So again, just wanted to stop and touch on tier 2 and tier 3. Bern, I'm loving that you touched on tier 1, because that's very directly related to what we're talking about with carbs. But I want you guys to understand why we do strength training and why it's the best way to lose fat, and why we don't do 100% cardio as well. So continue on, sir.
Yes, sir. Uh, Again, carbs will provide energy for our daily activity, and those will provide energy to allow proper organ function. And basically, it provides energy of life. So that's why today, if you're on a low carb diet or moderate carb day diet, uh, it's hard. We feel you guys. Now, if you are on a high carb day, you're gonna feel good. Okay, so as what Coach Dustin was telling us, that we are trying to deplete your body's glucose, uh, like stored glucose in your body, so that we can utilize your fats, your body fats, in order for us, to shred those weight, those pounds available. Now, it's going to take some time. It's going to take at least 1 to 2 weeks for you to get used to it. Now, once you get used to it, you're going to be fine. You won't be craving. You won't have that craving anymore. All right. So those are two types of carbs that are simple and complex. Simple carbs consist of monosaccharides, the most basic unit of carbohydrate. So that's a simple sugar, basically. So we are going to give you some examples on simple carbs. Next will be complex carbs. Consists of polysaccharides, mostly starches. Now, the two main difference, like both of them are carbohydrates. If you're gonna eat them, they're gonna be digested, and then they're gonna be made into glucose. Now, the main difference is that how quickly it is digested and absorbed. Okay. Now, if you eat like, Coach, I have 50 grams of carbs available, and can I drink soda? Yes, you can. However, after you drank that soda, after 15 to 30 minutes, you already feel hungry, right, Dustin?
Yes.
Yeah, right? And also, you can notice that if you eat ice cream, if you eat like a gallon of ice cream, sometimes you're not feeling full, like you don't. I can, to be honest, guys, I can eat one half gallon of ice cream in 15 to 20 minutes, and if I don't drink water, I won't even know that I'm already full. So that's the main difference. It kind of tricks your brain that you already ate like 100 grams, but you're not feeling it. So if you eat carbs, you kind of feel heavy. Okay, it makes you fuller and makes you fuller longer. Now, simple carbs are usually the things that you see very often. If you take a look on your fridge, you'd probably see soda, cakes, cereals, sugars, fruit juice, white bread and pasta, candy, pastries, and honey, corn, and syrup. These are the very easy to access anywhere you go. If you go to a call it fast food restaurant, you easily see this. You won't see like complex carb immediately.
Or
Now,
I gotta tell you, it was crazy. I was at a office supply store, Office Depot. This place sells printers and printing paper and calendars and office desks. And at the front, there's candy bars when you check out. Why is there candy bars at Office Depot, office supply stores? It's everywhere. And so you guys got to have your guard up. They say never eat or never go shopping on an empty stomach. I wouldn't think that applies at Office Depot, but it does. You can't go on an empty stomach to Office Depot, because they're going to try to get you to, buy those candy bars as you're leaving. So yeah,
yeah.
it is everywhere. So I'm glad you're touching on it.
Sodas.
They're everywhere, literally everywhere. Even in those places that they weren't supposed to be, right? So again, these are the carbs that we love the most. Um, I believe you guys could agree with me on this one, right? So they are also highly addictive. So just to give you a little bit of a background, me myself, I used to drink like 2 to 3 liters of soda per night. That's per night. I love the taste. I love the taste of soda when it goes to my mouth and it kind of bubbles. And it kind of is very addictive, you know. And they are very again easy to digest, easy to when it goes to your stomach, and then you're hungry already after 15 to 30 minutes. So they are primarily consist of sugars such as glucose, fructose, lactose, and sucrose. So those are the things that you might see often, and these are the things that you want to avoid because it will make you eat or go over your daily carb intake, over complex. Because let's say, for example, a one can of soda is approximately 40 grams of carbs already. Okay, that's a lot. That's like 1 cup of rice. Uh, that's 200 grams of rice, basically. Now,
And I was gonna just jump in with one more thing with their burn. Guys, if you guys are parents like me, this is something to be very mindful of. I was shocked when I took what my kids could be eating and easily they can eat 80 to 100 grams of sugar a day. So think about it like this, they start the day with cereal with milk. All right, cereal's got 15 grams of sugar, and then most people don't notice this, but milk can have 6 to 8 grams of sugar. So they started the day with 30 grams, get them all hocked up and hyped up in the beginning of the day, send them to school. Or now if you're the teacher, you got these kids with a full day's worth of sugar in their system just with cereal. Then they go on and they have like a sandwich. And most condiments, most people don't know this, packed with sugar. Ketchup has tons of sugar. Barbecue sauce has tons of sugar. Ranch has tons of sugar. Isn't that what kids love dipping their chicken fingers in and putting on their sandwiches and putting it on their fries?
Yes.
So boom, like
yeah,
10, 15, 20 grams of sugar. And then of course they want dessert, right? They want some sort of goodie. Give me some Gushers, daddy. Give me some gummy bears. Give me a juice. And that was another thing, like these little box juices have 20, 25 grams of sugar. So when I added it up, I was like, holy cow, if my kids ate what they serve at a school or what the average American, diet is, they could easily be at 100 grams of sugar. You guys want to know what the average that a adult male and female should be consuming a day? An adult male should be at 35 grams a day. An adult female should be at 25 grams a day. So then you take a kid that's a third of our size and you give them 4x the amount of sugar. No wonder they're bouncing off the walls. No wonder that, they're having, behavioral issues. So we're talking about this for you guys and your fat loss goals, but you are also the leader of your household. You're the leader of your family. You're the leader of the people under your care. So also understand
Okay.
what are the health residuals that's trickling down to them. So again, I just thought that that's something to be mindful of as well, because a lot of us in the fit fam are parents. So be mindful of that too. Look at the labels of what they're consuming.
yeah, that's true because what's in your house is probably also going to be the food that you're going to eat. It's hard to avoid when it's already in here, right? In front of you. So, like what Coach Justin said is that we have to be careful with this deceptive food and also this high protein food. Sometimes like a protein bar. You guys know that one protein bar, let's say for example, this kind of protein bar has at least 20 grams of protein, but if you're gonna take a look at it, it also has 24 grams of carbs. So it's not just it shouldn't be named as protein bars only. It should be also called like protein and carbs uh, bar, right? So just be careful with this kind of food. Make sure that you read the nutritional label, and uh, take a look at for this example on the left side. One bar of Kit Kat. It's just a small Kit Kat. It has 286 calories, but the carbs is like a total of 35 grams. Now, come to think of it, if you eat one, only one, and then you are on a low carb day, and your allowance is only like 50 grams, you are almost done for the day. So if you are gonna eat this kind of carbs, it's gonna, mess up your daily intake. And that's what Coach Dustin was telling us earlier with the barbecue sauce. 1 tablespoon usually have 5 grams of carbs. Now imagine if you've eaten or used like 5 tablespoons without knowing it has plenty of carbs. You've already eaten 25 grams of carbs in just for the sauce alone. And that's a lot. That's a lot. You could have eaten a lot better sources of carbohydrates rather than just eating this kind of food. Now, talking about complex carbs, the difference is that it packs more nutrients than simple carbs, higher in fiber and digest lower, so it makes more filling. What I've told you earlier, that makes you fuller longer. And it's very helpful, especially if you're working out. And sometimes when you work out and you eat simple carbs or sugar, you have that burst of energy within 10 minutes, but you cannot sustain it within, let's say, during our classes, it's around 30 minutes. After 10 minutes, you are looking for something different, looking for carbs already or looking for food because your body can't take it anymore. And also, it's the best option for weight loss and helps you manage your blood sugar spikes every after meal. Now, this is where health will come in because if your sugar level spikes because you've been eating a lot of sugar, and then your body's going to release insulin to bring that down, and then those foods that you weren't able to use immediately will be stored as fat, right? So as much as possible, try to look for this option like complex carbs, like oats, sweet potato, brown rice, some whole wheat pasta, and quinoa. This is going to be a lot better option for us, for you guys that are following the carb cycling diet.
Vern, can I throw something in here as well?
Yes, sir.
So one thing I want to point out is for you guys to always be aware of how your body responds to food. Pay attention when you yawn after you eat something. That's typically you having a sugar crash when you yawn after eating something. When do you yawn? When you eat bread, when you eat pizza, when you have candy, like, oh, like when do, doesn't everyone say that happens after Thanksgiving? What did we just eat though? We had mashed potatoes and we had pie, and everybody gets sleepy and they think it's the tryptophan of the turkey. It's such a little amount, it's not making you sleepy. It's the carb crash you're having afterwards. So that's why carbs need to be paired with protein because it slows the digestion in your body and you don't have that sugar spike and that sugar crash. Now, why does that matter? If you say, hey, Dustin, what's the big deal about yawning and what's the big deal about this spike and the crash? Well, when you abuse that, when you have a spike and a crash over and over, that's the path to diabetes. That's how you become diabetic. Now your body has had such drastic sugar, like spikes and crashes, it now can't keep up, and now it can't, produce the insulin on its own because it's so drastic, and now you have to go get synthetic, and that's why the diabetics have to take those shots. They got to get a synthetic shot of insulin because their body can no longer do it. So it's just like anything. If you abuse eating too much fat, you can have heart clogs and have a heart attack. You eat too much salt, you can get hypertension and high blood pressure. And when you eat too many simple sugars and have too many spikes and crashes, you can become, diabetic. And I'm not saying that to scare you guys. I'm just sharing with you, hey, what's the big deal about abusing this? Like, who cares if I crash and I yawn? Second thing I just want to throw in, and then I'll have Bern continue here, is guys, like I said, pay attention to your behaviors. That was me talking about yawning. Also, pay attention to fullness, all right? Why do complex carbs make you full, all right? The answer is fiber. Nobody binge eats apples. Nobody says, oh my God, I went on a bender, 6 apples are gone out of our fruit bowl. Sorry guys, that was me. I destroyed all the apples. I'm the person here that ate all that fruit. It's because you eat one and you get full. Why can you eat one apple, but like he said, half a gallon of ice cream or, a liter of soda? There's no fiber in that. There's nothing that expands in your stomach. Fiber literally expands and makes you full. And fruit is very fiber rich, and vegetables are very fiber rich. So when you eat a lot of fiber, that's what makes them complex, makes them slow down their digestion. And they also help you, to get full. Simple sugars and simple carbs have no fiber. All right. And so one, thing I'll share with you guys, and then, let Bern take over, is fiber in your body. It acts like Pac-Man with sugar. That's why there's the discussion of net carbs. So if, we had a protein bar that had 20 grams of carbs and it had 15 grams of fiber, and on the front it says there's 5 net carbs. The reason that kind of got popular is in your body, fiber is like Pac-Man. It eats sugar up. So that's why when people say, hey, fruit, is that something I should stay away from on a fat loss diet? No, because it has fiber. So the sugar in it gets eaten up by the fiber that it's paired with. The reason we don't want juicing is because you're literally extracting all the sugar and you're pushing the fiber aside. All that meat that you cut out of the juice, that's all the fiber. So you're literally extracting the sugar and you're giving yourself that sugary drink. And it's no different than a soda or alcohol or a chocolate shake it in and out. You are pounding sugar when you juice. So we don't want to juice. If you do eat fruit in a different form, we want to blend it because you keep that fiber, you keep the meat, and that's the benefit of fiber. So sorry, random fact. You guys know I'm full of them, and I just like sharing them with you guys so that you know how to get the best results possible. Bern, I won't butt in much more. Go for it.
Thank you, Dustin. So our takeaways for today's lean and burn is not all carbs are equal. They're different. There's simple. There's complex. And adjust your carb intake depends on your goal and daily activity. This is the most or the easiest macronutrient that you could adjust that can help you lose fat. Like protein, it's what it is. You need to eat at least 0.6 grams of protein per pound. But if you adjust your carb intake, it's gonna help you a lot. Okay, and try to eat more complex carbs and less simple carbs. Okay, and it is not bad for you. You can enjoy if you are on a high carb day, you can enjoy it once in a while, once a week. But always think that moderation is the key. Okay, so as much as possible, try to be at least 80 to 90% compliant of your diet, of your daily carb cycling. That's going to be enough on a monthly basis. If you're going to follow like 80%, that's going to help you a lot already.
Okay. Good information.
Dustin, I think you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say thank
All
you.
right.
And Bern, I want to give you a shout out, dude, because you crushed it. That was an awesome presentation. So we give him a round of applause. That would be awesome.
Thank you, Dustin.
And
Thank you.
Yay!
now I want to do Q&A with you guys, though. And it could be carb driven, or it could be something off the topic of carbs. But what are questions that you guys have about carbs that we can answer for you?
No.
I don't have any because I have it down pat.
I love it. How many pounds are you down now, Jeannie? By the way, guys, she's a cancer survivor and just a
Oh, good. Great.
25 pounds, and it's been difficult because I had, just so you guys know, it's not a big deal. I don't want to take up time, but one of the issues I had is my last chemo was June 24th, and of course, I kicked its ass, okay? And the thing is I had to tweak a lot of it because my organs are swollen, and the kind of fat I have, it's on top of the muscle, okay? So the diet I don't want to call it a diet, but the way I eat now, I have to make sure I have enough carbs to burn the right kind of fat to take the hardness out of my stomach and to relax my organs so they're not swollen. Okay, so I don't go by exactly everything. I go by what works for me, and I think I've been doing this a month, Dustin, or right around there. Well, I worked with Dustin before, so maybe a month and a week, and I am down 25 pounds, and just as of probably Sunday, 2 pounds.
Yeah. So
Okay. So the most important thing that I can input just for me is just remember right now, if Dustin brought a pizza over here, I'd probably throw up.
okay.
I'm not down to the T. I didn't like it the first 3 weeks, but I didn't like working out the first 3 weeks either. So, but if you get over that hump and you screw it up, guess what? You got
Oh, we're losing you, Jeannie. It's cutting in and out.
yeah. If your body's like, what did you just?
So Jeannie, your question was about losing a specific type of body fat, right?
Yeah. So anyway, I was just giving my opinion about don't cheat because it's not worth it.
I agree. And look at that. You lost 25 pounds. I think it's around 6 weeks, but yeah, you're rocking it. Here's the answer to your question. We can't tell our bodies where to lose body fat. You know, they call that spot reducing. Like, hey, body, burn it right here off my butt, or burn it off my back of my arm, or no matter, even if you just did 1,000,000 reps of that exercise, like dips or crunches, your body burns fat in a whole manner, meaning your whole body. It treats it as one. So it's going to burn a little bit everywhere, but you can't like hone in and just say, I want you to spot reduce there. So basically, to answer your question, just keep doing what you're doing because you're already losing weight at a drastic pace, like you're crushing it. And over time, you're going to see it. Now, here's the part you're not going to like. Right? Our bodies gain fat at the torso first. So if you took someone super skinny and you just started stuffing food in them and making them gain weight, you would start seeing it gain on their stomach. It would start gaining in their chest. And then it would start going out to their extremities. So then it would start making its way to their arm and their neck and their legs. Now, when you lose weight, it reverses that. First, it comes off of your arms and legs and your neck, and then it comes into your torso. So I know that's the part you want to see it come off, but that's why I said you're not going to like that news. It's the place, I don't want to say it's the last to come off because it will come off simultaneously. It's coming off of everywhere. But just because our torsos are obviously bigger than our arm, you don't see it happen until you start losing drastic amounts of weight. So just keep plugging along and you'll get to your goal and you'll be happy with the end result at the rate you're going.
And,
25 pounds.
and Dustin, if I could say one thing,
Sure.
that's why I don't want to have anybody concentrate on I have special things going on in my body. And by eating properly and working out the way I've been doing, I have a lot of swelling going on that has been brought down because of this. And so that's why I'm like, I'm awesome. And so everybody loses weight different, but in my case, it's just coming off and I'm happy. And I don't break the rules. I don't cheat. You know, it's not going to make any difference if I lie to Dustin when I send him my workout thing or make up something silly, because guess what? Next time he sees me, if I look like I gained 25 pounds, he'll probably never take me back.
You know, that's not true. But
So anyway, I was just talking.
break
I
the-
don't like to,
I don't think that's
use my situation, but, for some of the things I needed, thank you, and it's working for me.
all right, Jeannie. Keep it up. Proud of you. Rocking it. All right, cool, guys. Anybody else got any questions about carbs or another topic? Completely up to you. Dahlia, go for it. I see your hand is raised.
Yes. Okay. So my thing is, when I started with your program, I do the 7 a.m. class, and I wouldn't eat my first meal till about 10 or 11. And that's just because I come home, I shower, and I got to start getting ready with the kids and everything that I do. So my question is, I remember in one of the videos you posted, you said, eat your carbs right around your workout time. So am I supposed to be eating my carbs literally right after my workout? Because that's where I'm like wondering if I'm kind of messing up on that timing with the food, and when am I supposed to eat it, or when am I supposed to start eating, or
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And carb timing is a topic we didn't touch on, but the perfect window, again, life is not perfect, so don't beat yourself up, is 90 minutes to 2 hours post-workout. So you're just a little past that. You're about 3 hours past the workout. I don't think it's a deal breaker. I don't think you're going to see that much faster results. It's like if we cloned you, Dahlia that 90 minutes after loses 5 more pounds in a week versus Dahlia that does 3 hours later. So don't get your head yourself up. I know in fitness, chasing perfectionism or doing things the perfect way, but life is messy. Life is not perfect. So don't hold yourself to those standards. So you're doing great. I think, if you're seeing results, we should keep proceeding as always. But I know you come pretty often. You come like what, 4 or 5 days a week?
I'm up to 6 times a week now.
Well,
Wow.
that's massive. So great job on that. So here's my follow-up question. Are you seeing results? Are you seeing fat loss?
I mean, the scale has been moving, but I haven't been happy with the way I look yet. To me, it still looks like I'm the same.
Yeah.
I do have another question that was regarding the same thing. Is it the same thing does it also follow through with the protein shake? Am I supposed to be drinking that right after? Or, because like I said, I don't start, tackling my meals till about 10 or 11, and I'm willing to modify just to try to see maybe the complex carbs. If I have a complex carb right after a workout, would it be like a fruit and then my protein shake?
You can have oatmeal, you can have fruit, whatever you like, a piece of toast, that's fine. But I would say a great idea would be to add a post-workout protein shake, but that should not replace your 10 a.m. meal. It should be on top of. So, fat, like protein also burn a lot of fat. So it's always a good idea to put more protein in your diet. So we can have protein shake at, say 10, or I guess if you're done at 7:30, say 8:30, if it's just like a quick snack. You don't make it too heavy. Maybe you mix it with water, almond milk, boom, you pound it. And then at 10 a.m., you go and you have that meal with some carbs. That would be a great idea. But Dahlia, I had a question. How many pounds are you losing on average a week?
I don't know. I came in at 287, and this morning I weighed in at 274. So what is that? Like
15 pounds?
Yeah.
15 pounds? In how long have you been?
This is my 7th week. I'm in my 7th week right now.
Wow, 2 pounds per week.
Yes,
That's good. That's a great result.
I was really thrown aback because the amount of calories that I had to eat was like 2,600 calories, and then they were all healthy, and I was like eating these big giant meals, and I couldn't understand how that's gonna help, And low carb week has been kind of giving me a break on those large meals, so I'm kind of loving low carb week. And I guess I was just more interested about at my timing with when I'm eating,
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this: the reason me and Bern are like celebrating you, healthy fat loss is 1 to 2 pounds a week. 1 is slower, 2 is accelerated. You're in the accelerated category. 2 pounds a week, 7 weeks, you're 15 pounds. Holy cow, that's amazing. Like, you're still in the early stage. Like, think of the snowball effect. That means in 7 more weeks, you would be down 30 pounds. And then in 7 more weeks, you were down 45 pounds. So think about the long term here, because that you are going to be on this earth for years. So we need to think long term, not in the short term. So that's why we're so excited, because you're getting crazy good results. It's just we're in the very early stages. 7 weeks, like I've been working out 15 years. So 7 weeks, like that you're getting great results. And then the second part, yes, I think we definitely need to manipulate your calories to make it so that you feel like you're very full, but you're also seeing fat loss. And that was why you got those calories and those macros, because our goal is always to make people feel so full, man, you don't even think of going and eating junk because you're just stuffed. You don't even have any room. So that's where you were. It sounds like your calories have been dropped during this carb cycling plan. It also sounds like you'll probably be happier. But here's the seed I want to plant in your head. This is a very low depleted state. When we put you on carb cycling, you're not supposed to live here forever. We will go up. We might not go up to where you were, 2,500 calories. But if you're right now, say 14, 15, 1,600, your maintenance, or I shouldn't say maintenance, but your like reverse diet calories might be like 1,800, 2,000. And we kind of live there. And then you go back into a depleted state for 6 or 8 weeks, and then you come out of it for 6 or 8 weeks. The reason we do that is it doesn't allow for metabolic damage. When you live in a depleted state, you really destroy your metabolism, and then it's harder to lose weight in the future, which our goal is for you to not have to lose this weight over. This is permanent. Like every pound you lose, we're taking it to the graveyard and we're burying it and saying goodbye to it. But the way that we keep it off is you have to go to depleted states, and you got to come out of it for a little. You can't live in a diet world 12 months of the year. You have to come out of it. And so that's what we're going to do post challenge. We'll walk you through that. It is a process just as much as going into a depleted state is. It's called reverse dieting, and it means coming out of a diet but not gaining weight, but it doesn't include increasing calories. And I know just hearing the sound of that could freak people out, but you do it the right way. It's a 10% increase for 3 weeks in a row. It's slight. So if somebody was 1,500, they'd go to 1,650, they'd go to 18, and the final week they might end at 2,000. So, but yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant. Do you have any other questions?
I just have one more.
Yeah, fire away.
Okay. The protein amount that I was assigned, I think it was for this week, 220 grams of protein. Okay, that's a lot of meat. So is it okay if a third of my protein is coming from protein powder?
Yeah. You're to get 220, you need 2 to 3 scoops. Now, here's what I would kind of introduce. Think of other ways to consume protein powder rather than as a shake. Could you mix it in with yogurt, like Greek yogurt, and make like chocolate protein pudding? Could you bake with it? I make protein pancakes for my kids. I do these things called protein muffins, where I put a scoop of powder in a coffee mug. I crack 1 egg, and I'll even sprinkle in a few chocolate chips, and I'll put it in the microwave and nuke it for a minute, and it becomes this molten lava cake in my mug, and that's kind of this dessert I'm munching on. So look up protein powder recipes so you don't think of it as just this powder and water mixture. You can bake with it, you can make banana bread with it, you can make protein pancakes, like have fun with it. So yeah, hopefully that helps.
Yeah, that helps a lot, because I was like, I have to eat all this meat. I'm eating like a whole pound of shrimp sometimes, just to try to get my numbers.
Yep. Ground turkey is really easy to consume. Put a little sriracha or some sauce on it. Egg whites. You can really
I'm all over.
Yeah.
I'm all over it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
And Talia, just to add, with your weight loss journey, the weight that you've weight gain that you have right now is not just like 7 weeks. Isn't just like 21 weeks. It's like 5 to 10 years of accumulated calorie intake. Now, you losing weight for like 2 pounds per week within 7 weeks, that's good starting pace. Okay, compared to other people that are just losing like 0.08 or 0.8 per week, you are actually doing good, and you just have to keep doing what you're doing right now, and you'll see huge results along the way.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Great. Anybody else got some questions? We're here to help you guys get better results.
Jen, do you have any questions? Christina?
Yeah.
Yes, Jen.
I'm struggling like keeping the fat low while eating the protein, and I don't know, I'm not very good at this. Or my husband's like, call Katie. Katie will help you.
That's a good question.
No. So here's what I like to do, Jen, because I'm like you. I would prefer to eat a little bit more fat and a little bit lower carb. I love healthy fats. I love avocado and coconut oil, olive oil, grass-fed butter. Oh man, that tickles my fancy. So what you could do is you can think of protein, carbs, and fat as 3 different bank accounts, and every day, they fill up to those numbers that you are given, and then you basically drain them down to 0. You can take from one bank account and give to another. The only one that's like Fort Knox that we can't touch is protein. Like that's, like that, there's guards, you got the best security system ever. But these 2 banks, we can play with them. We can say, all right, if you got 50 grams of protein and 100 grams of carbs, well, we can make it 70 grams of fat and drop it down to 40 grams of carbs. So we can slide these up. So if you enjoy foods, because if you're eating foods that have fat and your fat numbers are going above, that's okay. You would just pull from your carbs. Now the danger zone is anything below 50. We don't want to go below 50 on carbs. So if you're already there, I wouldn't do that. But if you're like at 60, 70, 80, and you want to take away and get down there and add to your fat intake, that's okay too. So what do you, when you log it, what are some foods that shoot your fat intake up?
Well, like I had ground turkey for lunch, ground turkey with dinner, like 5 ounces, 5 ounces. I think I had some ground chicken at breakfast, and then I had 2 eggs. Well, so the second day I took out one of the egg yolks to try and help, but that's it for the day. And it's like, I want a piece, like I really wanted a piece of cheese. And then like, I don't know.
So how much were you over on your fat?
I've been over at least 10. The first day I was probably almost 20 over. The second day I was about 10 over.
Yeah.
But
better. I kind of give everybody like a 10 gram forgiveness range. If you go over 10 or if you're below 10, you're in the neighborhood, we're good. But over, anything over 10, like the day you went to 20, yeah, I'm glad you took measures to drop it. But that's the freedom you have, is you could just go all egg whites and then you could sprinkle cheese on something,
But I don't even, I don't like just egg whites. And then I'm throwing the yolk away, and I feel like I'm.
But yeah,
I'm part of it too. Like at the challenge thing, you're like, oh, mix it up, and I knew you said mix it up, and I know to mix it up, but I bought a big thing of ground turkey because it was what I could afford, and like I can't buy steak, I can't buy salmon, I can't buy, and I'm like, okay, I'm like stuck having to eat the same thing, and I was okay day 1, it tasted great, and day 2, and today I just didn't want it.
so I'm glad you're sharing this, because that's what I'm here to do, is help you. So Flavor God, look that up on Amazon. Flavor God is the best seasoning out there, and basically, they have chipotle, they have ranch, they have just a ton of great seasonings. You need to make that ground turkey taste differently and put different sauces that don't got sugar. You could put hot sauce, you could put salt and pepper, but we need to dress it up. We need to mix it with some vegetables. I like, again, you guys have to watch your carb, but you could mix it with some rice. You could mix it with some vegetables. The fact that you're doing
I had zucchini and broccoli, and I have cauliflower now to cook. And I put a sugar-free barbecue sauce that I've kind of found, and but it's tricky when my budget is not very big to buy that stuff that's better for you, which is how we end up where we're at to begin with. Because if we want to go to McDonald's, I'm sorry, the M word there, we want to go to McDonald's, to grab something on the way to a baseball game, we've got so much to spend. We can buy the cheeseburgers, we can't buy the salad, we can't, it just in general. But I saw those Flavor God things on Facebook. It's always on a Facebook ad for me. But are they like big? Because they seem I don't know.
I
They
mean,
last a while.
it's gonna last you 3 to 4 months. Like and that's if you use it 3 times a week. Like that's kind of how I'm using it. But Christina, did you also have something you want to chime in with?
Yeah, I have a couple things. I burned out on ground turkey. I cannot do ground turkey right now, but I'm doing ground chicken. So why do you push turkey more than chicken?
I don't.
Okay.
They're literally almost identical in their macro ratio. Like they're
Okay.
good. So
Okay. So I can do the ground chicken all day long. I just switch up the veggies. Jenny, here's a really good tip. Those Flavor God seasonings, Dustin, I kept hearing you talk about those. So Trudy and I went in and we bought they have a really good sales if you go to their website, and they have different packs. We got a 14 jar, they're all variety, and we split them. So she had jars, she took half and I kept half. But I'm telling you, the flavors are amazing.
yeah, I'm gonna show you guys what they look like. That's right there.
Yeah.
So that's the containers. You can get them at NutriShop. You can get them on Amazon. And where'd you get them at, Christina?
I think they're less expensive at the actual Flavor God website, because they always have specials. They send me links now for any of the specials. They have some for $2.99 sometimes.
Yeah.
So it just.
But they got Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
They got
The
ranch.
Flavor, Italian, the garlic, lemon garlic is a big favorite, and chipotle.
Garlic, yeah. I love the chipotle. So that was the other thing I was going to say, Jen, is taco salad. So get a bowl of lettuce, put some ground turkey on top, and then put salsa or guacamole on it, and boom, have a taco salad.
I don't eat.
All right.
Well, that's very good. I would eat it without the salsa, and probably like if I had an avocado. I love avocado, but I don't like guacamole. I don't like onions. I don't eat salsa. So sorry, I'm very complicated.
No,
I don't mean to be.
But that I'm just throwing a ton of ideas at you. The other one is a meatloaf. I know it sounds like, food that, we're not a big fan of, but I have such
We eat lots of meatloaf.
Okay. If you get beef or you do it with turkey, basically it is a 3-ingredient meatloaf. All right. So it's like, I think I do 5 to 6 eggs, and you can replace that with, you always want to do more whites. So it'd be more like 8 to 10 whites. It'd be a pound of the grass-fed beef or the ground turkey, and then a cup of oatmeal. All right. And so that's it. Eggs, oatmeal, and ground turkey. Mix it all up. Throw it in the little, pan, oven for 45 minutes, and boom, you got this meatloaf. Put some of that sugar-free barbecue sauce. Heaven. My kids gobble it up. I gobble it up. Side of veggies. Throw some broccoli. We're off to the races. So yeah, those are some other ways to dress up that ground turkey, so that you don't feel bored with it.
Even Mrs. Dashes is good. I mean, that's what I started out with.
Yeah. So, and then I guess I also want to address the budget side of things. Bulk shopping, Winco, Costco, and then Sprouts. They all got those bins where you can like go buy bulk amounts of the foods that are like dry, like rice. I got a giant 20-pound sack of rice at Costco for $11. It's probably gonna last me the whole year. It's 20 pounds of rice. It's so much rice, like it's crazy. But your dry stuff like oatmeal, rice, beans, those are crazy cheap if you go buy them in bulk. And it's your proteins, your meats, and your eggs and your dairy that are gonna rack up more. And then if you got some good seasoning, you're good to go. And then some fresh vegetables. But yeah. All right, Talia, you got.
I will try the Flavor God stuff. I see it, but without it. When you see the ad, I'm like, okay, this is another Facebook ad. Who knows what it actually is? I'm really dark. Sorry, it's dark in my room now.
Oh, you're good. All right, Talia, do you have another question?
Yes, I just wanted to make a request from you, because I know you're the one that posted that, what is it you call it? That protein malted lava cake thing.
Yeah.
Is there any way that maybe you can try to continue to post more of those? Because I run out of ideas, and I want to see new things on their group.
I want one of those cakes like right now.
Yeah, I'll totally post them.
Maybe
yeah.
like once a week to add
Oh.
like a new.
One thing we were doing for a while with the daily directive is every daily directive also had a recipe attached to it, and everyone was digging that. And we stopped because people stopped bringing up that they were making it. So we figured, oh, no one's really, reading them anymore. I'll bring that back. I'll ask Alex and Ariana. They're the ones that are in charge of posting the daily directive. And I'll say, hey, can we bring the daily recipe back? And so just look for it there every single day. There's the workout, and then there's a daily recipe, so that you don't ever get bored. And we mixed it up. We did breakfast, we did snacks, desserts. But yeah, I'll also post. I have a recipe guide with 12 different versions of the protein muffin, a lemon one, a red velvet one, a chocolate one. So I'll post that, and then you guys, enjoy that. So I got you, Thalia. Cool. All right. Any other questions, guys?
Nope. This
All
has
right.
been really informative. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. We're excited to do this. We want to get a little more education going into our program, and that's what this is here for. It's very difficult to do this as a live setting because we're battling against our sessions. So we just figured more people are available, and Zoom, all 3 gyms, and we have a lot of remote online clients as well. Everybody can participate. So this is going to be a weekly recurring thing. Glad you guys dug it. The replay will be posted soon. Thank you, Bern, for bringing the awesome special effects and making us look like we're big shots. And we'll be doing these every single week. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Byron.